Bernie Ecclestone, the former big boss of Formula One, has never been one to keep his thoughts to himself. His recent comments have once again thrust him into the spotlight as he raises important concerns and shares his observations about the current state of Formula One. So what's he been saying about the current state of F1? Well, let's break it down in simple terms. In late 2016, the world of Formula One saw a seismic shift when Liberty Media, a major US-based cable television conglomerate, with investments in SiriusXM Radio and the Atlanta Braves, took the wheel with a controlling stake acquisition for a whopping $4.4 billion. Their mission? To drive Formula One straight into the American spotlight, transforming it into a luxurious pastime that transcended borders. Liberty's game plan was nothing short of ambitious. They set out to fuse sports, culture, and lifestyle, creating a spectacular racing extravaganza that would capture the hearts of global audiences. The vision started with a revamp of race weekends, turning them into luxurious, festival-like spectacles that oozed American flair. However, the masterstroke that set the wheels in motion for Formula One's Americanization was the launch of Netflix's documentary series Formula One: Drive to Survive. This show wasn't just a documentary, it was a turbocharged rocket that propelled F1 into the mainstream. It pulled back the curtain on the secretive world of racing, giving F1 drivers the kind of celebrity treatment usually reserved for Hollywood A-listers. The latest season drew a jaw-dropping 4 million viewers in its opening weekend alone, making it one of the most watched streaming shows in the world. A Morning Consult survey revealed that a staggering 74% of US F1 fans under 45 claimed that Drive to Survive was their gateway drug into the sport. Nielsen data further reinforced the show's impact, showing that nearly 16 million people watched at least part of the Netflix docuseries. Liberty Media's strategy was a well-calibrated success as it catapulted Formula One into new markets. The numbers spoke for themselves, with ESPN reporting a colossal 56% surge in average American viewership in 2021 compared to the previous season. This surge in popularity led to Formula One's bold expansion in the United States, with the Miami Grand Prix making its debut in 2022. In 2023, the expansion continued with the addition of the Las Vegas Grand Prix, joining Miami and the United States Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas. However, while these American races brought glitz and glamour, some purists worried about Formula One leaving its roots behind. Venues like Miami were undoubtedly thrilling, but they weren't where the sport's foundations were laid. The concern lingered that classic European races might be sacrificed for the allure of newer, global venues. Stefano Domenicali, Formula One's current bigwig, defended the moves, asserting, "I'm not selling the soul of Formula One. I believe that this is the normal change." However, the man who once steered the F1 ship, Bernie Ecclestone, isn't seeing things that way. In fact, he isn't entirely thrilled with the direction the sport is heading. Ecclestone's candid remarks shed light on his reservations, stating, "I think you can see with the races in America that they are doing, which I think is completely mad." He believes that the way they are approaching races in America, particularly Miami, is a bit over the top. He argues that there's an excessive effort to infuse American-style entertainment into Formula One, contrasting it with his era, where the focus was on preserving the essence of pure Formula One. Ecclestone also weighed in on the influence of Netflix's hit docuseries Formula One: Drive to Survive, saying that Formula One might be leaning too heavily into the entertainment side of things. He remarked, "Netflix has captured them a little bit, and they follow that a bit too much." He makes a distinction between Netflix and traditional broadcasters, suggesting that the former prioritizes entertainment over the sport's core values. Another major point of contention for Ecclestone is the ever-expanding F1 calendar. He expressed concerns about the strain it places on teams and personnel. Ecclestone believes that even during his tenure, when the calendar breached 20 races, it felt like a lot. Now, with 24 races planned for the 2024 calendar and the potential for more in the future, he worries that it's becoming unsustainable for those involved in the sport. His concern goes beyond just logistics. He envisions a scenario where team staff and competitors might struggle to balance their professional and personal lives. Ecclestone's ideal number of races per year is 18, emphasizing the need to prioritize prestige over quantity. While he understands the commercial incentives behind expanding the calendar, he questions the long-term sustainability of such agreements. While an ever longer and ever more global calendar are both great for F1 and generally welcomed by fans, that expansion could have negative consequences on team personnel in particular. Ecclestone isn't just the only one speaking about F1's growing calendar. A chorus of concerns is also emerging from within the paddock. The norm of triple headers, where races are packed closely together, is raising alarms among those who toil behind the scenes. The grueling work demands are taking a toll, and it appears that the pleas of those working tirelessly are falling on deaf ears. The rumblings of discontent within Formula One are growing louder, and the stakes are high. The mechanics, the unsung heroes who keep the teams running, are sending a clear message. If the sport doesn't heed their concerns, it could face a revolving door of talent, ultimately hurting the teams themselves. While some team bosses have callously suggested that those that can't handle the relentless schedule should seek employment outside of F1, it's clear that losing skilled staff to burnout isn't the solution that serves the sport's best interests in the long run. One of the groups most affected by this ever-lengthening calendar is the team mechanics and crew members. Charles Leclerc aptly pointed out that while drivers may complain, they may not fully grasp the sacrifices made by the mechanics, engineers, and logistics teams. These unsung heroes arrive at the track 3 days before the drivers and depart 2 days after, enduring an intense workload that's beginning to wear thin. Max Verstappen, the Red Bull driver, shared his frustration with the added commitments, questioning if it's all still worth it. The toll on drivers' physical and mental well-being is a growing concern as they juggle an increasingly demanding schedule. Looking ahead, the 2024 calendar promises an even more brutal stretch for teams. 3 triple headers are on the horizon, along with 2 double headers, making it an utterly exhausting dash to the finish line. The strain on teams is palpable, and the toll on their personnel is undeniable. The desire for a 24-race season in Formula One has been on the agenda for a while, with plans for it in both 2022 and 2023 seasons. However, cancellations due to external factors have prevented this so far. Current regulations cap the season at 24 races, but this could change in the future. When the Concord Agreement is up for revision in 2026, there's a possibility that the season could expand further. F1 CEO Stefano Domenicali has hinted at the potential for up to 30 races, a substantial increase from the current calendar. Additionally, there have been discussions about adding a race in Africa, potentially growing the roster. However, Charles Leclerc raises a valid concern about the consequences of such an extension. He likened it to the Olympics happening every year, potentially diluting the special feeling associated with each Grand Prix. As Formula One navigates the delicate balance between growth and preserving its essence, the voices of those behind the scenes are a crucial part of the conversation. The challenges they face must not be overshadowed by the pursuit of more races and global expansion. It's not just the working staff who are feeling the strain of the 23-race calendar. Even the fans are starting to voice their reservations, especially when faced with the relentless triple headers. The worry is that the essence of Formula One, its prestige and significance, is being diluted as the calendar becomes saturated with races. The question arises, why isn't there more consideration for a calendar that takes into account the well-being of the staff who make it all happen? The scheduling decisions seem perplexing at times. Is it all about the money for F1 owners? It seems that's why they have given priority to. Now over to you. What are your thoughts about Bernie Ecclestone's statement? Do you think F1 is heading in the wrong direction? Let us know in the comment section below. That will be all for today's video. Thanks for staying tuned. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so that you can always get to watch more amazing videos like this. See you in the next video.